Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to next Industry 5.0 keynote speech. Today we will speak about information systems. My name is Mike Rada. I'm human, and I'm the founder of Industry 5.0. And before we start, let me ask you two questions. The first one is who we are. Because we are collecting and having many titles. We are presidents, chairmen, we are students, managers. We are producers, teachers, fathers and mothers. And with every single title, we forgot one, that we are human beings. Living ones, not like this man on County out of Pilsen Brewery. And if we do realize who we are, let me ask you the second question. Where do we live? Because we live in beautiful cities like Rublev, like Pilsen, and this is the city I'm speaking to you from, like Paris, like Brussels. We are living in beautiful cities which we fill with trash. We work in factories which produce in one day more trash than a city in a month. And we work in factories producing products which frequently before using the end user become waste as well, and we store them in big metal houses, calling for more big metal houses to be built to store our waste inside. And at the end of our shift, we leave and go home next to the output of our production. And maybe we realize that something what was called food before is called bio-waste today. And we look at the red sky above our heads, asking ourselves, where do we live? I will answer this question and much more today. But before doing so, let me tell you what is Industry 5.0. Because not everyone knows that it is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It's based on the principles of systematic waste prevention. And it recognizes and prevents 5 types of waste: physical, social, urban, process, and the wasting of time. Every single one of this waste can be prevented. And every single one is being prevented since 2013 already in the work I'm doing on the construction site of wasteless work. What are information systems? Many connects information system with the existence of computers, but it's strange because a long time before computers has been invented, systems, organization and information are important or has been important, as we can see in big libraries which still exist, containing the knowledge of centuries sometime. But then computers and digitalization was introduced. And instead of having access to everything, it seems like time to time we have access to nothing. We have lost against the computers already, at least in a speed of calculation, because the latest Google computer, supercomputer, Sycamore, processed 47 years of information in just 6 seconds time. Unfortunately, AI is not in the hands of its creators or operators anymore. But information systems connected to computers are not the only one. In fact, there are many. And one of them is the human activity system. It's very interesting because it defines that a system serves the purpose of its collective entity. It serves the purpose of its members, and it serves its environment to the larger system in which it is enabled. It's very interesting, and I never knew about this before preparing for this keynote. On October 23, 2023, was published a paper called The Rights of Nature. Seems to be interesting, but there is something missing. The author forgot that humans are here because of nature, not the very opposite way. What is the existing reality? I was born on December 24th, 1971. At the day our planet was called blue marble, and it was truly beautiful. In 2019, the blue face of our planet was not visible anymore because of the environmental damage so severe globally that the planet face turned brown and gray. But then something very strange happened again in 2021. The blue face of our planet showed up again, not because we changed intentionally our behavior, but because a virus locked us down. We are living on a planet around which we have been able in few decades' time to create a global landfill with more than 120 million pieces of space debris. And that's not enough. We are digging inside, hunting for more, because more become the only criteria of success. More money, more companies, more cars, more people, more wives, more families, more. Ask Fortune 500 members how they get to the ladder. Ask Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and ask the others as well, because it is very important to understand that we do or we change more to the only criteria of success. We are living here together with 8 billion people, not knowing that 200 years ago it was just 1 billion. And 100 years later it was 1.5 billion, which means in the last 100 years the human population fivefolds. And in 2050 there should be 11 billion people living on a planet. And please remember the last image I showed you. We are living here in 206 countries, speaking 7,000 languages. We ride 1 billion cars, and we let 9 million people die hungry, despite the fact that every single day, more than 23 million metric tons of food and crops is being wasted. We let 800,000 people die thirsty every single year, despite the fact that only California crude oil industry is consuming 347 million liters of drinking water every single day. We plant our food to throw it away because the leaves are not green enough for the buyer in a chain store. We put our overproduction in the rivers and on a landfills not to spoil the market price. We carry our water in firefighting tanks, not knowing that the same amount of water is needed to produce just one and simple hamburger. And we do it on a planet on which one sip of water can save not one, but 2 lives. We store packaging in factories on the parking lots for employees, waiting till it becomes waste. We work in factories and businesses, having the walls lined with environmental certificates, and behind the walls, landfill is being created by the same company. We waste products which are not perfect for one, but can serve hundreds and thousands of others. We listen to the words of World Bank, which says that till 2050 the waste volumes will grow. In some destination it should even double. In the same report is written that almost everything can be reused or recycled, but in fact 13.5% is being recycled. And this is what makes the waste industry the third most profitable industry in the world, following the war industry and the crude oil industry. We have spoken about digital and computers. Have you ever heard about digital waste? I don't speak here about e-waste. Digital waste means that 85 to 90% of all data stored in data centers will never be used again. They are digital landfills. 75 up to 85% of all images we took on our smartphones, we will never look at, we just store them. 95% of all data collected with the barcode reader will not be used. And 75% of all users who has in their mobile phone a weather app, if you ask them how will be the weather, they don't look out of the window, but on the screen. If there will be electric shutdown, blackout, access to all data will be lost. Did you know that LinkedIn Analytics shows just 2 years of your history? We have made one big mistake. We built the future on the top of a pyramid, not realizing that the pyramid has not been built for the living ones to live inside, but to store the corpse or corpses inside. I realized that a decade ago, and I decided to build another groundstone, a groundstone on which the future can be truly built and be stable. And I call it 6R. And how does it work? Firstly, you have to recognize that something must not become waste, and trust me, that's not an easy task. But then even the harder one comes to reconsider what to do with this item. And you probably fail for the first, second, third time. But then, at the moment when you succeed, you start to change the world. I have spent 8 years to write a framework, legislation, which was never needed before in a human history. It is the waste prevention framework, waste prevention policy, in which nothing that can be used or utilized again must become waste. Everything must be considered primary as a pre-waste existing resource and remain in the system. The secondary use or utilization of a product or material is not limited to a primary function and can be realized by everyone, respecting the rules and regulations so as the safety conditions. Collecting, sorting, baling, and trade are not being considered anymore secondary utilization, and if not used on a primary location, it must be offered to others before being wasted. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please remember one: there is no waste if we do not waste. Not a single legislation in the world defines how waste is creating. So it must be part of this framework definition of wasting. Wasting is a process in which a product or material of any kind, foreign volume, become waste. In fact, wasting is a system failure and must be prevented first without any limitation or legal restrictions. And please do understand, wasting is not a feature of a product or material, but a result of human behavior. And single use is one of the most common forms of wasting. If we speak about wasteless world, about the end of hunting for more, we will speak about degrowth. And degrowth is being understood as something negative, which is not at all. Because if it will be, it will not be repeated every single day and every single year by nature. Degrowth is not scarcity or shortage. In fact, the growth respects the planetary limits and does not reduce profitability, but it reduces the negative impacts on environment. The growth fixes the broken socio-economical system and reduces the economic gaps, helps to line up humans in and with nature, and helps personal development. Industry 5.0 was launched on December 1st, 2015. In 2020, it was named the leading industrial trend of a decade. In 2022, it was named the global leading industrial trend of a century. And just 1 month ago, 6 countries, 6 governments named Industry 5.0 crucial for the country development. In 2024, start trials with the companies which pretend and mislead their customers, people, citizens, that they are delivering services or producing products which are related to Industry 5.0, but they are not. At the end of 2024, officially will be coined the content of the term Industry 5.0 on a global scale, and it will refer to December 1st, 2015. In 2025, all governments in the world will implement Industry 5.0 principles in their national legislation framework. You may ask, what is the impact of Industry 5.0 on industries? Okay. To reveal that, we have to see what the industries are facing today. And there is a lot of similar. Automotive, new car production down. Steel industry, traditional production down. Construction industry, standard construction down. Banking industry, new money and debts industry are down. So what to do with it? Here is the reply delivered, or the solution delivered by Industry 5.0. Car producers should not concentrate on production of new cars, but should upcycle or upgrade the old engines into new ones. Steel industry will use much more 3D printing, and at the same time it will repurpose its own products on a systematic way. Construction industry exactly the same, just it's not a product but buildings, empty brownfields, a lot of which are being ignored at the moment. And the banking industry will not be built on debts anymore, but will be used to help with managing the national, so as personal surplus generation. But these are not the only industries. We have education, power industry, waste industry, even the war industry. So what is the impact there? In schools of all types, curiosity and human build-up will come. In the power industry, we will start to concentrate on a reduction of the waste, which create up to 65% of the energy produced is being lost. The waste industry will struggle strongly because waste prevention will hit and will become standard. And the landfills will become new mines. And the war industry, I'm very sorry, I'm not able to say there will be no wars immediately. But I know that unity and harmony of humans will make wars obsolete. In food industry, we will use a new production methods, but all the production will be consumption driven, not demand driven, because this is just a marketing term. In agriculture, we will localize and bring the food production or the planting directly in the cities, in the brownfields, in different parts of a city which is not used, but it's close to us. In water industry, we will concentrate on reuse, repurposing, and again on waste reduction, which is omnipresent at the moment. And the research and development will finally break the silo and come out, become part of the society and of the industries. Industry 5.0 has many impacts. And on human, it will help to understand and value who we are, you and me. We are humans first. And this is more important than anything else. And the society which will understand this will grow strong, stronger than any giants can be. Dear ladies and gentlemen, all of you here in this conference for which I am preparing this speech, you have academic degree. I'm the only one who does not. But all of us know this world most famous formula presented by Albert Einstein in 1905. I am not a physicist, and you maybe not as well. So I decided to take the formula out of the physics, use it as one of the on-the-ground minds, and put it in an economy. If E is equal to economy, what means the M? It is omnipresent and it is present in every economy. It's money. And if you know M is money, what can be the C squared? Again, present in every economy. It is the corruption. And this fact brings us to the time when we are living in a waste age. Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by a human. It's a new mindset of people and businesses, from wasteful to wasteless. It delivers results without the need of capital investment, and is based on the principles of systematic waste prevention, utilizing existing on-the-ground mines, and based on the principles of transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And please understand one. Industry 5.0 is not a sales tool or a buzzword to sell products or technology. Dear ladies and gentlemen, few years ago, our children and teachers need to go digital from one day to another. We did the same in the work and start to work remotely more frequently than any time before. And it looks like that the only thing which needs to be digitalized is the human himself. But if we do so, our world will look like this. Because data don't need any light. I realized that more than a decade ago. And I decided that my home will not look like this. So I start to build a new one. And don't worry. I am not alone. My name is Michael Rada. I am human. And together with me, 117 ambassadors, humans, operating in 117 countries, giving the access to the tools of systematic waste prevention to more than 93% of global population. Because all of us, we know that the giants start to shrink when the humans start to grow. Thank you for your time. And I hope I see you soon on the construction site of Wasteless World. Have a nice time free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, free, and be a human.